to supervise the process set in hand at the NATO summit in Bucharest. In addition, the NATO-Georgia Commission is also responsible for coordination of alliance assistance to Georgia. You have the floor to make some public remarks. Please, welcome.
Thank you, Secretary-General, dear colleagues. A little more than 3 weeks ago, we hosted the North Atlantic Council in Tbilisi.
We'll need more soldiers.
The ministers agreed today that based on the request which came to us from the Afghan government, of course consistent with the existing and appropriate resolutions of the United Nations Security Council, and under the old plan which we have in Afghanistan, ISAF can, but it will do it in concert with the Afghans, act against facilities or facilitators supporting the insurgency. And if that happens, it happens subject to the authorization of specific nations. I think it was meeting of NATO foreign ministers. So you know that the deadline for all parties to meet the requirements of the Medvedev-Saakashvili agreement is today, and it is encouraging that Russia seems to be withdrawing its forces back to the pre-conflict lines. Depends on, that's why I mentioned Bernard Kouchner. To avoid misunderstandings, NATO will not be supplying any weapons to Georgia, but we can and do provide guidance and expert advice to Georgia as it sets its own priorities. We've also provided specific support to help Georgia recover from the conflict, including through civil emergency planning and helping to build a better air picture. Some positive remarks from Tbilisi, but also saying that we are not there. Let me congratulate on behalf of NATO, but also on my own behalf, because I know him already for a long time, President Ahtisaari, on winning the Nobel Peace Prize. President Ahtisaari has a very long, distinguished career, helping to solve crises, one can say, around the world. First time I met Marty Ahtisaari was in Namibia, where I was an election observer, and he was leading the process towards the elections. I can mention Aceh, I can mention other areas as well. He is the definition of the respected elder statesman, and I think no one could be more deserving of this award than Marty Ahtisaari. Abilities are concerned, there is no difference between... Why am I so surprised? Because our Russian partners were extensively briefed. By us, more specifically for the details, by Martin Edman, Ambassador Martin Edman, who is in charge. So it can definitely not have come as a surprise to them, because they were kept informed.